Welcome, what's up, everybody? My name is Michael Flecha, and welcome to the recap of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The Hell in a Cell was held live tonight, exclusively on WWE Network, where you guys could have gotten it for $9.99 a month, with a 6-month commitment, or $12.99 and no commitment whatsoever. So, alongside Anthony Florio and Michael Bullock, I am Mike Fletcher. We welcome you to this pay-per-view event, and we're just gonna go right into the event. We're gonna start it right off, and we started it off with, well, normally it's the pre-show fight, but it was Bo Dallas going one-on-one with Mark Henry. Mark Henry squashed him in 27 seconds. We're not even gonna waste our time or breath with that one. We're gonna jump right into the pay-per-view, and it started off with a 2 out of 3 falls fight for the Intercontinental Championship. The champion, Dolph Ziggler, puts the title on the line against Cesaro, the winner of the bout, and still the Intercontinental Champion, Dolph Ziggler. Anthony Florio, you lead it off, my friend. It's all yours.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Michael Fletcher. And hello, friends, and welcome to our Hell in a Cell pay-per-view recap. Delighted to be here as always. Delighted to have you with us as well. What ended up being a very good show tonight, and this was a great way to start it off. I mean, I felt this had the chance to start it off. I mean, I thought it was either this or the tag team titles that was going to start it off, but sure enough, 2 out of 3 falls, or going old school, Michael Fletcher here. Intercontinental rules, as we all know. A la Gorilla Monsoon. This is how fitting. Intercontinental rules for the Intercontinental title. Awesome. 3 to 3.25 stars is my rating for the fight. I mean, this was a very good match. The only gripe I had was that it didn't go the full distance. I was kind of hoping it would have. I thought it was going to, but it didn't. I'm not surprised Ziggler won. I mean, I kind of thought they were gonna have Cesaro go over here, but apparently, I guess they don't want to push Cesaro now, I guess. So there's really nothing left for me to say on this. But this was a very good match. I mean, it's very rare we see 2 straight falls happen, but it did. So first fall was over like that, but the second fall was definitely better. Like I said, the only gripe was that no distance. It didn't go the distance. I was kind of hoping it would have, but it didn't. So. But other than that, it was a very well-wrestled match, some great near falls down the stretch, and, this was a solid way to start the show and definitely got the crowd amped up, which is what fights like that are supposed to do. So 3 to 3.25 stars. I don't know how I'm going to rank, probably third, right around third or fourth best fight of the night, if I'm being honest. So with that said, let's go to Michael Bullock for his thoughts on Ziggler and Cesaro.
Yes, thank you very much, ridiculously over Anthony Florio, and yes, this is the Phenom and the Vice President of the Rhode Island chapter of the Yes Movement, Mike Bullock, here for our Hell in a Cell recap here, and I do agree, I thought it was a good 3 to 3.25 star bout. I mean, a very good match here to kick off the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and yeah, I mean, I thought for sure that maybe, I thought the match was going to go the full distance, the full 3 falls, but yeah, of course, Dolph Ziggler basically gets the first fall at about 3.5 minutes, and then the second fall was about 12 minutes and 15 seconds. So yeah, I mean a good win here for Dolph Ziggler. So what happens next for both of these men? We're just gonna have to wait and find out. So 3 to 3.25 stars, and definitely a good match to start off the pay-per-view. So with that being said, let's move on to Fletch.
Yeah, I gotta say at least 3.5 stars is my rating for it. I actually really liked the fight, how it really came down, and yeah, I was actually surprised, like you guys were, that it ended in 2 straight falls. But I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, Dolph Ziggler deserves to be the Intercontinental Champion. He did win the match, which is great for him. We will definitely find out what's next for him. At the end of, we'll find that out soon enough. For Cesaro, yeah, I know a lot of people are going to be very upset with the outcome, but to me, I think it was good, not great. Solid fight to start the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and to start out with 2 out of 3 falls, well, we kind of were feeling about it, but we'll wait and see what happens. But it's definitely great to see that Ziggler keeps the title, keeps the belt around his waist. Good news for all the zigzag fans out there, and so I think a lot of people are going to be resting.
Oh, I didn't hear you, Fletch, because the picture froze on you a little bit. So, what are we talking about now?
We are talking about the Bella twins going at it. We're talking about Nikki going one-on-one with Brie. Loser becomes the personal assistant of the winner for the next 30 days.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you because, like I said, the picture of you froze up. So I don't know what happened. Maybe a bad connection. But either way, yeah, it's what I expected. I thought it was the worst fight of the night, but because there was a little bit of all right action, I'm gonna say probably I'm gonna go somewhere between half to maybe 1 star at best. I mean, I thought there was just some all right action, but not really my cup of tea of a match. And of course, Nikki Bella gets the win. Of course, hitting the torture rack on Brie Bella, uh, not once but twice. And yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw during the match. She hit that forearm. I mean, Nikki hit that forearm on Brie Bella. It was almost like what we saw at SummerSlam when she cost Brie the match against Stephanie McMahon. So yeah, and of course after the match, Nikki Bella mocking Daniel Bryan with the yes, yes, yes chant. And of course, as a fellow member of the Yes Movement, I say no, no, no to that, Nikki Bella. So yeah, so for Brie Bella, now it's gonna have to be the assistant to Nikki for the next 30 days, and where this goes from here, I think we're just gonna have to wait and find out. Yeah, after 1 star, I know I may be sounding a little too generous here, but I just thought there was some alright action. So really nothing else for me to say except let's move on to Fletch.
Actually, Michael Bullock, I have to disagree with you. I think you underscored this fight because I thought this was a lot better than what you're letting it out to be. I actually can give this at least 1.25 to 1.5 stars. I actually think this was actually a pleasant surprise. I mean, me and Anthony Florio were talking about it briefly. I was actually watching the pay-per-view right here on my Samsung Galaxy 5 because I actually do have the WWE network, and when it comes with the network, it actually comes with the app. So this is actually one of the advantages to have the WWE apps. Even though I don't really care about all the other stuff, but I actually was able to see the pay-per-view on this thing, and I have to disagree with you, Michael Bullock. I was really surprised with the way of the body of work of not only Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, but I thought they put on actually a very good match. It was a solid fight. I actually have to give it at least 1.25 to 1.5 stars. I think they really shocked us tonight, and that was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed it. Yes, we kind of predicted who was going to win, which was going to be Nikki Bella, But at the end of the day, I thought the execution of the fight was actually really good. It actually gave a close near falls for both ladies, so it made us think that maybe Nikki was going to win it, then Brie was going to win it. So I mean, even though the outcome was predictable, and actually, as you notice, the, the um I guess the personal assistant's job has begun, because if you remember later in the night, Brie was carrying Nikki's bag or luggage into the car, and also taking some personal phone calls for Nikki. So it has begun. So start the clock. 30 days is starting right now for Nikki Bella. Uh, for I should say for Brie Bella. Uh, the personal assistant job has begun for her, or what we like to say, the 30 days of hell has started for poor Brie. So, with that said, one and a quarter, 1.5 stars is my rating. Anthony, I give it to you.
Who do I agree with? I think you know where I'm going with this. I agree with Michael Flecha. I think Michael Bullock underscored it a little bit. I mean, I can understand because, Bullock has not been a fan of this feud, nor have any of us. But, Fletch and I, we talked about this. And, Mikey, what did I say? What did I tell you? I said that this match pleasantly surprised. I said this was a color be surprise match. And
You,
I'm gonna go as far as to say this was my sleeper fight of the night, to be
yeah,
quite honest with you. And one more thing, because of the fact that we not only got a better than expected match, and on top of that, we got a clean finish, no authority shenanigans. Well, at least in that fight, I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna handsomely reward this fight by giving it a solid 2 stars. Solid 2 star match, and go figure. Of the two diva fights on this card, this ended up being the better one. Color me surprised. That's all I can say about that. The other diva fight, well, not so much, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, yep, and Michael Bullock, yep, he's being a man. He's going to admit it one more time. Bullock hasn't been doing too well with his picks lately. I mean, same guy who picked the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Indianapolis Colts last week, and we saw how that worked out for him. I mean, 135 total yards and a goose egg. Yeah, that worked out for you. So,
Yeah, and I think right now I'm gonna have to eat that slice of humble pie and enjoy it.
oh yeah, you will eat it and you will like it, and you will like it like you've never liked it before. All of the CM Punk apologize meme on Meme G. But anyways, all I can say is pleasant surprise of a match. I mean, we all thought this was going to be a mess. We thought this was going to be a train wreck. We thought it was going to be a dud. But yeah, both girls worked very hard and put together some believable near falls. And yeah, the crowd may have crapped all over it. Yeah, you had the JBL chants and all that good stuff. But I actually was pleasantly surprised. That's all I can say right there. Sleeper fight of the night, far and away. 2 stars. I'm going to give it 2 stars for the effort. I mean, not only because we had a good match, but the main reason why, clean finish, bonus points. So 2 star match, sleeper fight of the night. What a pleasant surprise. That's all I can say. And all I can say is I did see something on a dirt sheet, on one of my dirt sheets, that we could see a possible Team Brie Bella versus Team Nikki Bella traditional Survivor Series elimination match next month at the Survivor Series. So read into that what you will. I mean, they're in talks right now. There are talks and plans of possibly doing that match, according to one of my very reliable dirt sheets that I read every day, that I actually follow on Twitter because they follow me. So that's all I can say about that. So look for a Team Brie, Team Nikki, Total Diva Showcase, traditional Survivor Series elimination match at the Survivor Series next month in St. Louis. So 2 stars, sleeper fight of the night. So let's move on, Mikey.
Alright, and we move on to the next fight of the night, which was for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Stardust and Goldust, the Dust Brothers, putting winners of the bout, and still the WWE Tag Team Champions The Dust Brothers, I gotta say it, this was another pleasant surprise fight. This was actually far better than even I expected it to be. This is right around the range of 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating for this fight. And the thing was, the body of work was good enough. I mean, they did get enough time, 10 minutes uh, 10, 10 minutes and 7 seconds was the time of the fall, but the fight was all over the place. I mean, there was good moments. There was a little bit of a slowdown, but it definitely wrapped it up, and it told a great story. The Dust Brothers does successfully defend tag team titles. I wonder where they're gonna go next with that story. Maybe the Usos get back in it. Who knows? Because the tag team division really needs a shot in the arm. And we'll wait and see what happens there, to say the very least. But a solid fight, a good fight. 2.5 to 3 is my rating. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you, Mikey. Once again, 2.5 to 3 stars is the correct rating for this match. Definitely a solid tag team championship match. I mean, just as good as the tag title match they had last month at the Night of Champions in Nashville. I mean, no big surprise the Dust Brothers went over. You knew they would. Another clean finish there. Yeah, I mean the action was good. I mean, the Usos doing their usual high flying antics. You know how much we love those. I'll look at this. Like Flecha would say if we were doing the commentary. But yeah, I mean, these two teams work very well together. I'm loving their chemistry. I'm loving their body of work. I mean, I know there are a lot of naysayers out there who are saying, "Oh, end this feud, end this feud. It's repetitive. It's boring. It's tired. It's played out." Well, no, I'm not quite there yet. I mean, I still got a feeling. I don't know why, but I got this feeling this feud's far from over. I don't know why, but I'm getting this feeling. I mean, we've been seeing it, for the last several weeks on Monday Night Raw. These two teams competing in six-man tag team matches. Various six-man. With Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Cesaro, and then most recently on the SmackDown with, of all people, Bo Dallas and Mark Henry. So that's all I can say about that. So, but this was a very good tag team championship match. Great team won. I feel I'm glad that they didn't do the transitional run. You know how I am about that. So yeah, very good tag team championship match. Flex is on the ball here. I'm going to say fourth or fifth best fight of the night on this. I'm going to say 2.5 to 3. I agree with Fletcher's rating. Not sure what these two have planned for Survivor Series, but maybe I read an editorial. I talked to Bullock about it the other night, and maybe just maybe we could see these two teams possibly in some form of a traditional Survivor Series elimination match as well. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But at the end of the day, 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating. Very good match. So with that said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this tag title fight?
Oh, yeah, we're talking about the tag team match. I thought it was a very good match, a very good tag team title match. 2.5 to 3 stars is the correct rating on it. I mean, I thought this was a really good match. Probably a really good one in this rivalry here. I mean, yeah, we had some good high flying action. Of course, what else would you expect from the Usos? So, yeah, I mean, in the end, it looked like Jay was going to go for that Samoan drop, but Stardust basically takes out Jay's leg, and then Goldust hits the final cut on Jay for the freak out, and a nice win for the Dust Brothers to remain the tag team champions. So what's going to happen next now with these two teams, especially for the Dust Brothers? Who's going to challenge them for the tag team titles next? We're just going to have to wait and find out. So 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating. So with that being said, let's just move on to the next match.
And now, gentlemen, it's time to go to hell. Hell in a Cell. And everybody was debating what was going to be the main event of the Hell in a Cell event. We found out real quick what the main event was going to be, because this fight was first on the docket. It was John Cena Randy Orton 1-on-1, and the winner becomes the #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and will fight Brock Lesnar sometime down the line. They didn't announce when. All we know is that when Lesnar comes back, this man will be the first to get the shot. The winner of the bout and the man who survives Hell in a Cell is John Cena. He wins the bout. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
Fight of the night, gentlemen, right here. I mean, this was absolutely amazing. I mean, love whether you like these guys or you hate them. Can't help but respect them. And tonight, the effort that they gave tonight, I have to say this was the second greatest match in the history of their series. The bragging rights match they had, the Iron Man match that they had, that was 5 stars and beyond. No one's going to touch that. That's always going to be, that's forever and a day going to be their greatest match ever between those two. But this was almost damn near close to topping it. I mean, I can't quite give it 5, but I'm going to give it between 4.25 to 4.5. This was a damn good Hell in a Cell match. One of the best Hell in a Cell matches. You know what? I'm going to say it. Best Hell in a Cell match since End of an Era, if I'm being quite honest with you. I mean, the End of an Era was the last great Hell in a Cell match that we've seen. I mean, those 2 CM Punk Ryback disasters. I mean, I don't know which one was worse. The one for the title or that handicap from last year. I mean, both of those were equally bad. And then Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton had a solid Hell in a Cell match last year, but he had a clunky finish in that one. You had some authority, I can't quite say authority shenanigans, but Shawn Michaels was the one responsible for the ending. But it was only a good 3.5, maybe even 4 on that, but more like 3.5. But this time around, this is what a Hell in a Cell match should be. This had the feel of an old school Hell in a Cell match, like those early Hell in a Cell matches. I mean, Derek Ferrer likes to say it, Shakespearean drama at its finest. I mean, they told a great story here. I mean, the stipulation, adding the stipulation I thought was a nice touch to the match and definitely made the match more meaningful than anything else. So, not at all surprised Cena won. I mean, Cena hasn't won, a pure Hell in a Cell match on actual television. The only time he did win one, it was a dark fight back in 2011, that 5-man match, which I saw on YouTube last week, by the way. But anyways, I'm not at all surprised Cena won. You knew he was going to go over. I mean, in a way, I kind of wanted to see Orton go over only because of the fact that I know they have no plans for Lesnar for Survivor Series, but think about this. If they had put Orton over, and if they were able to talk Lesnar into showing up for Survivor Series, think about it. You could have had Lesnar versus Orton for the title at Survivor Series in Orton's hometown of St. Louis. How freaking cool would that have been? That would have been great. Can you imagine the pop he would have gotten for that match? Him challenging for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship against the Beast Incarnate at one of the 4 biggest events of the year in his hometown. That would have been epic. They could have done something with that. They really could have. But alas, they didn't do that. And I'm not surprised at that, really, because the dirt sheets have all been saying Cena versus Lesnar has been in the plans for some time now, and they didn't say when, but no, Mikey, I know exactly when this is going to happen. January, Philadelphia, Royal Rumble. I don't know if you know, but the Royal Rumble is going to be, as you like to call it, the Philadelphia. The Philadelphia got the Rumble. Wachovia Center. It's going to be there. And that's when you're going to see John Cena and Brock Lesnar, hopefully for the final time, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And that's all there is to say about that. So, bravo John Cena, bravo Randy Orton. That was a Hell in a Cell match. Best Hell in a Cell match since End of an Era. Not better than End of an Era by any means. End of an Era was still better. Let's not kid ourselves. But very close, though. Great reaction. Great near falls. Crowd was into it. I was into it. And go figure. This one ended up being better than the other one. Go figure. I can't believe I'm saying that. So, 4.25, 4.5 stars, fight of the night, and like I said, one of the best Hell in a Cell match since End of an Era. That's all I can say about it. And then, I don't know what's next. I'm thinking Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, because they're on the verge of turning Orton face. I'm thinking we're going to get something with Orton and Rollins down the road. But Cena and Lesnar, like I said, when is that match going to be? Royal Rumble, January, Philadelphia. Said it last night during our preview with Bullock. So enough said on that. So Royal Rumble, Cena Lesnar, you booked that. So 4.25, 4.5 stars, best Hell in a Cell match since end of an era. I don't know what else there is to say except Michael Bullock. Your thoughts on Orton and Cena?
Man, this was an unbelievable Hell in a Cell match between these two. I mean, we basically saw everything in this match. I mean, we saw steel steps, we saw chairs, we saw tables in this match. This almost has the resemblance of like a hardcore rules. Like a little bit of the hardcore match. And Michael Flecha, we all know how much he likes a hardcore match, being the hardcore guy that he is. And I know he must have been grinning with all the. And I know he must have been grinning more with the other Hell in a Cell match that we saw later on in the night, which we'll get into later on. But as far as this one goes, 4.5 stars. Fight of the night, and yeah, and I talked about this with Anthony Florio behind the scenes after we did. I think it was after our Strictly Sports show that we did the other night, and I was saying I wouldn't have been surprised to see Orton go over because it would have been a fresh start to see Orton and Lesnar go at it, but yeah, yeah, but now it looks like it's gonna be Cena and Lesnar once again. When? It's gonna be at the Royal Rumble. And here's another thing. I think the night of the Slammy Awards, December the 8th, is when Brock Lesnar returns. I think you're gonna see John Cena come out and confront the Beast Incarnate, and that's when we're gonna see it official. Lesnar, Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the Royal Rumble. So, and yes, that too. Lesnar will win the Superstar of the Year. So, yeah, a great Hell in a Cell match, and as far as this rivalry goes, I think this is the second best match in their rivalry. The only one that topped it was, of course, the match from Bragging Rights, 2010, or not 2010, 2009. Got to correct myself on that. Yeah, so 4.5 stars. Fight of the night. Flecha, your thoughts on this match?
I can say at least 4.25, 4.5 is definitely the correct rating. This was an amazing fight, to say the very least, and it had drama. It had everything. I think the one move that actually had me flipping out was at one point Cena set it up for the Attitude Adjustment, and in literally when he flipped Orton over, he got reversed RKO'd right in the center of the ring out of nowhere. And then the one other was Cena set it up for the 5 knuckle shuffle, and he got caught. He actually does the flying shoulder block, and you're thinking, oh no, here it comes, the 5 moves of doom. He goes for the second shoulder block, RKO out of nowhere, gets planted by Orton. 1, 2, nope, doesn't get the 3 there. Of course, the steel steps was used, and oh my god, tables, chairs. You wanted violence, you wanted mayhem, you wanted chaos, you got it and then some. This was definitely not PG rated at all. A great fight, a great way to really establish, and they really used the contents of the Hell in a Cell too, because you could definitely tell Cena and Orton both men were bouncing off the cell pretty badly. So this was one heck of a fight, no doubt about it, and it was definitely well worth the trouble and well worth the chaos. I loved it, every minute of it. It was truly a great match, to say the very least. Alright guys, so let's move on. Next fight, for the United States Championship. It was Sheamus putting the title on the line against The Miz, the winner of the bout, and still the United States Champion, Sheamus. Michael Bullock, I give it to you, my friend. What did you think about this fight?
Oh yeah, forgot to unmute my mic there. Yeah, can't believe once again I forget about that. But you know what? I'm still trying to get over this pay-per-view. So yeah, so as far as this match goes, I thought it was an alright match. I mean, it was nothing amazing, nothing overly special, but you obviously wanted to give the fans a breather after a great Hell in a Cell match between Cena and Orton, and I'll give it maybe 1.5 stars as my rating for the match. I mean, it was fine for what it was worth, but no surprise with Sheamus retaining the title. But what happened after the match? I mean, I don't know if you guys saw this, but every time Sheamus picked up the Miz's arm, you saw his so-called stunt double, Damien Mizdow, basically do the same thing. And of course, getting the Miz to do the YMCA. I mean, I just got a laugh out of that one because I'll tell you this: the YMCA was one of my favorite songs from the old days. So yeah, so 1.5 stars is my rating on the match. Fine for what it was. So Flecha, it's yours. I don't know how you're gonna follow what we saw at the ending of that match.
I know. That actually was pretty interesting to say the very least. You know what? I'm sorry, Mike. I think you kind of underscored it again. I can give it maybe 2.25 stars. I thought this was a decent fight. I mean, this was a good match, not a great match. I can agree with that. But I mean, I think that it was definitely well worth the money, well worth the time, and it definitely was one of the few bright spots here. And yeah, I think you could also boost the rating up a little bit because of the post fight, because of the funny shenanigans, the haha shenanigans that Damien Sandow did. This guy is super over now, man. I mean, Damien Sandow is absolutely getting mega over. The fans are starting to like it. So, I mean, from where he was from a few months ago to where he is now with The Miz and with this character, I really think the IWC and everybody's gonna start embracing Damien Sandow again. Remember, he used to be the intellectual savior of the masses, Mr. Money in the Bank. And now we all know the downward spiral he went on after he lost to John Cena when he cashed in and became, well, I guess we could say the first true legit person to fail on a cash in because he was pinned by John Cena. Remember, Cena had his opportunity, but the fight was stolen from him because of a DQ finish. So this was actually uh, definitely for the first time ever a true legit failure of the Money in the Bank cash in. But at the end of the day, it was a decent fight, 2.25 for the stuff. But the post fight haha actually actually helped. So that's why I think I give it, the two and a quarter. I could agree with Michael Bullock that this was maybe a 1.5 star, but the post fight actually boosted up the rating, at least in my eyes, and I really enjoyed it. I was thoroughly entertained, and once again, Damien Mizdow was actually the star of the fight, and he actually gets my tip of the cap tonight. And actually, he would be welcome into the Levy Lounge, a la Steve Levy from ESPN. So, welcome, well done on that one, Anthony. It's yours.
Yeah, 2 to 2.25 stars for the match. I mean, match was okay. It was nothing really special. Um, it was okay for what it was. Yeah, I mean, Ms. Dow's definitely getting over now. Um, fans are definitely buying into his act, and you know, he's definitely. I think they're going to turn him face 2 down the road. I just don't know when that's going to be. Maybe end of this year or sometime next year. I don't know. We'll see. But eventually, you can expect a facial turn for Mizdow there, and we'll see what happens if they keep him as Mizdow or if they have him go back to the original gimmick. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But I mean, okay fight, nothing really special. I'm not at all surprised Sheamus won. You knew he was going to. I mean, he is the longest running champion in WWE today. I mean, closing in on almost 6 months now as the United States Heavyweight Champion since May, just after Extreme Rules when he won that Battle Royal that ended Dean Ambrose's year-long reign as champ. So we all remember that. So yeah, okay fight. I mean, it was basically a TV quality fight. That's really what it was to me. It felt like your typical Raw main event, SmackDown type fight. If I'm being quite honest. So um, I know you guys were in. I know you guys dig the little comedy skit at the end. Me, I mean, it was okay. I mean, I'm not really jumping up and down about that. I know I'm being a lemon about it, but it was all right. I mean, you know, it was kind of, it was to be expected. I mean, they needed to find a way for the fans to come down after the awesomeness that was Cena and Orton inside the cell. So, that's the perfect way to do it. I mean, there's always two ways. There's always one of two ways that you can make a crowd come down after an epic match on a pay-per-view or, a TV, and that is a god-awful diva fight, or, well, make it three ways. One, god-awful, typical ho-hum diva fight. Two, a dud enhancement squash match. And three, a lame comedy skit. And that's exactly what you had here. So that's all I can say about it. So 2 to 2.25 stars. That's the correct rating for the match. So I don't know what's next. Who's next for Sheamus now? Good question. I don't know. Let's move on.
Well, maybe after this next fight, this might actually shed some light on who might be the next man to go up against Sheamus, because it was the Big Show going one-on-one with Rusev. Rusev wins the match via submission thanks to the accolade. And I'm gonna say it like this: this is about maybe 1 3/4 to 2 star fight. And the thing is that yes, it was short, but it was almost a carbon copy of what we saw a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, when these two got it on. Mark Henry did show up. This time he did not interfere on the behalf. He didn't interfere. He jumped up on the apron and only to get paid for it. And it was a solid fight. It was okay. It wasn't nothing special. But Rusev does get the win. Big Show passes out from the pain as he would not tap out to the accolade. And, well, you saw the end result. The big Russian flag gets unfurled, much to the delight of Lana and Rusev, as they get a big win as well. And, at the end of the day, we gotta wait and see what happens here. Um, like I said, I do believe that Rusev could become the next #1 contender for the United States Championship. He might be going up against Sheamus very soon. We'll wait to see what happens on that front. But at the end of the day, something has to give. I mean, Rusev has gotten, he's been taking out some good guys. So, and the Big Show was probably one of the toughest challengers he had, at least to date. They were building it up really good, to say the very least. But at the end of the day, they got what they wanted. They got the payoff, and a nice victory for him. So, with that said, Anthony, I give it to you, man. What did you think about this fight?
Yeah, 1 3/4 to 2. That's the correct rating for the fight. Typical Rusev match. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting, but it was all right for what it was. I mean, solid. Not really, jumping up and down about it, but you knew Rusev was going over. But one thing you forgot to mention, Fletch. I mean, yeah, Henry didn't interfere, but he didn't turn heel either. I mean, we all expected this was where Henry was going to turn heel. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, here it comes. Here comes the heel turn right here. And no, they didn't pull the trigger. They will eventually. I kind of thought they were going to do it tonight, but they didn't. So, And you know what? You make a great point about that Rusev theory. I mean, I was pushing that theory myself. I mean, on past editions of the forum. I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, I forgot all about that. You're absolutely right. If you're gonna, if they're gonna keep this, Rusev anti-American thing going, the best way to keep it going is to finally pull the trigger, have him be the next challenger for Sheamus and the United States Heavyweight Championship. Maybe on a future TV, maybe even Survivor Series. I don't know. TLC in December. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I think now is the time. I mean, push Rusev as the next challenger, and just imagine the heel heat that he will garner I'm not going to say if, but when he takes the United States Heavyweight Championship from Sheamus. Because I think if anybody's going to do it now, I think Rusev's going to be the guy. I mean, I've always said it. Even when we were doing our play commentary, I'm still going to say, real recognizing real, here and now. Rusev is built for championship gold, and if not the end of this year, sometime in the next year, I predict Rusev will be a champion in the WWE. And I think the best way to start him up, as far as gold goes, is the United States Heavyweight Championship. Take the title off of Sheamus. I don't know when you do it. You can do it on a TV. Maybe you can do it at Survivor Series. I don't know. Maybe even TLC in December. We'll have to wait and see. But if you're gonna have somebody take the title off of Sheamus, I think Rusev would be the perfect guy to do it. And if you do that, the heel heat, he and Lana are gonna garner from that. Oh boy, it's gonna be the most the most heel heat that we've seen since the days of Vicky Guerrero, and of course since last year's SummerSlam, the infamous Authority shenanigans, where the whole Authority thing started when Randy Orton cashed in Money in the Bank on Daniel Bryan to win the title. So we all know that. So just imagine. That's all I can say. Just picture it. Just imagine what that heel heat is going to be like if Rusev does eventually become the United States Heavyweight Champion, which I think he will. So, yeah, something to think about. And Lana, yes, amazing as always, looking like a little sexy pink lady, if you will, because she had the pink, the little pink outfit there. I saw a little peek of it on her Twitter. She posted a little selfie before the match, and looked like all I can say is she looked like a very sexy pink lady, a la Grease. So that's all I can say about that. So, oh yeah, Bullock, you're absolutely right. I mean, that was another great heel heat moment when Sergeant Slaughter became the WWE champion from the Ultimate Warrior, the late great Ultimate Warrior, God rest his soul, Royal Rumble '91 at the old Miami Arena. You're absolutely right. I mean, and not just the heel heat from the crowd, but Gorilla Monsoon and Roddy Piper on commentary was absolutely epic. Let's not forget that either. I mean, they were both great, but I felt Gorilla was the star on that, even though Piper was just as awesome as well. So, but story for another day. But anyways, 1 3/4, 2 stars for the fight. I'm actually leaning towards 1.5 to 1 3/4, if I'm being quite honest with you. So, okay fight, nothing really to get excited about. Typical Rusev win. So, what's next? I don't know. Maybe Rusev goes after Sheamus. We'll see. But let's just wait until Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, and then we'll have a better idea of where we're gonna go. So, with that said, Michael Bullock, your thoughts on Big Show and Rusev?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. 1.5 to 2 stars. The match was all right for what it was worth. It was like I said before, nothing special about it. I mean, we all knew Rusev was going to win this one. I mean, when Mark Henry came out during the match, I mean, I was thinking to myself, oh, it's going to happen. He's going to turn heel. He's going to turn heel. He's going to heel. But then when during the match, you saw Rusev basically kick Mark Henry down off the ring apron, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So so the Rusev wins here. He gets the Russian flag over, and what's next for him? I mean, could he go after that United States title from Sheamus? And man, I mean, could you only imagine what the heat will be if he does take it? And like I said in the chat, you could get the biggest heat since when Sergeant Slaughter won the WWE Championship from the Ultimate Warrior at the 1991 Royal Rumble, and you saw the reaction of that crowd when he took the title from him, and that was just, they were like shocked and like, I can't believe the WWE Championship is going to Iraq. And yeah, I mean the reaction from Roddy Piper and Gorilla Monsoon at the end of that match, I mean, it was just spot on. I mean Roddy Piper was good, but the commentary from Gorilla was just better. I mean, it was just awesome. And saying like, "Oh, you're a turncoat and you are a disgrace to the WWE Championship." So, and you think you're gonna get the accolade you deserve? Give me a break, will ya? I mean, that's definitely one of my favorite lines from Gorilla Monsoon and Anthony Florio. I know you'll back me up on that. That's probably one of his famous lines whether it's like him with Roddy Piper or most famous with him and Bobby the Brain Heenan working together. So yeah, so 1.5 to 2 stars. Yeah, so really nothing else to say except let's move on.
Alright guys, and then the next fight we had was for the WWE Divas title. The champion was AJ Lee. She puts the title on the line against Paige, the winner of the bout, and still the Divas champion, AJ Lee. She wins the bout. Anthony, it is all yours.
Florio, it's your turn.
Paige, Divas title.
Is it whose turn? Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
What are we doing?
Paige and AJ Lee for the Divas title.
AJ Lee and Paige.
Oh yeah. This was I gotta say 1 to 1.5 on this one. I probably would have to say this was the worst fight of the night, if I'm being honest with you. Typical ho-hum diva fight, and go figure, the Bella fight, that awkward moment when a Bella fight ends up being better than this. I mean, go figure. I mean, it's the same old shtick we've been seeing from these two, for the last few weeks. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't hot potato the title here. I'm glad they kept it on AJ Lee. That was fine. But yeah, it was just wasn't really all that exciting. I mean, and it's a damn shame too, because we know both of these girls can work. Everybody knows that. And but you know what? I still have this weird feeling this thing's far from over again. I mean, why do I have this feeling we're going to get another match with these two? I don't know why, but they're going to keep shoving this down our throats, for the next few weeks. I mean, everybody's saying we wanted this feud, but what the heck has happened? I mean, the matches have been, I hate to say it, but piss poor. I'm sorry. Most of these matches have been piss poor, and this one tonight maybe was the worst match in their series, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know what's next. I'm thinking, when it comes to Survivor Series, I'm thinking, all three of these divas, if you count Alicia Fox in there, I think they'll probably be involved in that Team Nikki, Team Bree Survivor match at Survivor Series next month. That's just my guess. I wouldn't be surprised if they were involved in that match, but we'll just have to wait and see how they decide to book this. But to me, this was the worst fight of the night. Very disappointing. 1 to 1.5 stars. The action was okay, it was there, but to me, based on the body of work of the other matches, I have to say by default, this was the worst fight of the night for me. So I don't know what else there is to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on this Diva title fight?
Yeah, I got to do a little correction here. I mean, I have to say 2 stars on the Bella match here, and I do agree it was the sleeper fight of the night because I got to see that match again on the WWE Network. Of course, they're showing the repeat of Hell in a Cell, so yeah, so I have to correct myself on that. And this right here is the worst fight of the night by default. 1.5 stars. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting maybe something really good, and unfortunately, it was very disappointing. If I'm going to be quite honest here. And I do agree with Anthony. This was your typical ho-hum diva fight, and And it's a shame because you got two divas who can flat out wrestle, and you put them in a typical ho-hum diva fight like this. I'm sorry, that's pointless, unnecessary, unacceptable, inexcusable, irresponsible, and borderline reprehensible. And if I was creating a meme right now, and I would have used that CM Punk apologize. Yeah, that's hard times, Daddy. Um, but if I was doing a meme, I would use the CM Punk apologize meme, saying, "You put my wife in a typical ho-hum diva fight. You 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 apologize, and don't try to piss me off again." Uh, or should I also say, "Don't try to test me again, McMahon." So yeah, really nothing else for me to say except 1.5 stars. Worst fight of the night. Flecha, it's yours.
Yeah, this is about a 1.25 to 1.5 star fight, and it just never really, like, the fight was good, and we saw the body of work from from AJ and Paige, and it just, I don't know, it just left a lot to be desired, to say the very least, and it kind of shocked us that this was how it turned out. And you know, it doesn't matter if you agree with the rating or not. It just, I think we've just been so used to seeing great matches from AJ Lee and from Paige. It doesn't matter if it's from WWE or NXT. So we have such high expectations for both women, or both ladies, I should say. And tonight they just never developed it, and it never transpired. All right. So with that said, it's time for the main event of the Hell in a Cell event, which was Hell in a Cell, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, one-on-one. The winner of the bout was Seth Rollins. Michael Bullock, you get to lead off on the main event.
Damn, I can't believe I keep forgetting to unmute my mic. Oh, yeah, botchamania on my part here. So I'm gonna say this was the second best fight of the night. If I'm gonna be quite honest here. And yeah, as far as the rating for my match, I'm gonna have to say, somewhere. I'm gonna have to give it an even four. I mean, 3.5 to 4 stars on it because, well, I mean, this match was so. And here's the thing: at the beginning of the match, I mean, these two started the match from the top of the Hell in a Cell. I mean, it's almost like they were trying to copy what Mankind and the Undertaker did it back at that King of the Ring in 1998 when they started the match from the top of the cell, and we all know what happened at the end of that match. I mean, that match was really hardcore, and the moment these two got to the side of the cell, I'm like, oh crap, this is not going to end well for either one of these two. Well, the thing is, it didn't end well for both of them because they both fell off and landed on the announce table, and I pulled my inner Joey Styles when I saw that happen. I was like, oh my god! I mean, that was sick. And then of course they finally get in, and we get we get these two in there, and I mean, we saw the chairs. I mean, we saw the tables being used, especially when Ambrose hit that elbow from the top. I mean, this was mega hardcore here, and I mean, with the way this match was, it was on its way to a 5-star classic, and then the lights went out, and we hear these strange voices, and then you see the light in the middle of the ring. I'm like, wonder it could be, and who shows up? Bray Wyatt. He shows up and beats up on Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins gets the win here, and then hits the Sister Abigail on Dean Ambrose, and I'm like, I mean, come on, WWE. I mean, this match was on its way to a five-star classic, and once again, we got an overbooked, clunky finish here. And I mean, why WWE? Why do you do this to us? This match was getting so good, and basically, you say, you know what? We're gonna overbook it. We're gonna give it a clunky finish and have Bray Wyatt stick his nose in the match. Ugh, I hate it when you do this to me, WWE. Well, as Triple H would probably say, the reason why I do it is because it's best for business. Yeah, best for business, my ass. So, 3.5 to 4 stars. I would have given it 5, but the ending just really left a sour taste in my mouth. So, enough said. Flecha, it's yours.
I will say this, man. It was at least a 4.25 to 4.5 star fight, and it was on the verge of 5, and then the bottom dropped out on all of us. It felt like we just got thrown off the Hell in a Cell, and we just crashed through the announce table after that finish. We all were not happy with this one. This was a horrific ending, to say the very least.
Or it feels like we got chokeslammed through the top of the cell, like a la Mankind Undertaker.
Yeah, you could say that. We went through the trap door. Let's just say that. Um, but I'll just say this. It was definitely not the best fight at all, and it was the second best Hell in a Cell fight of the night. I think we all can agree Cena versus Orton definitely was better because of the ending of it. But I thought this was a classic old school Hell in a Cell fight, and they gave us what we wanted. You know what? It's been a long time since we had some people fight on the roof of the Hell in a Cell, and we had that tonight. That's why we all started flipping out. And then you had that sick bump where where not only did the Spanish announce table eat it, but the English announce table ate it. So I'm not gonna jump all over that because you know why? Because it was a simultaneous takeout. If the Spanish would have gone down and the English would have stayed up, then you probably had me going all Mikey, how dare you WWE? But because they both went at the exact same time, yeah, I'm cool with that. And it was part of the fight. I think the one thing that really kind of got me a little upset, I'm like, oh no, please don't let it end with the EMT showing up and they carrying these guys out of there. No, because then Ambrose, what he does is he grabs the guy, grabs Seth Rollins, throws him into the ring, tells the referee to lock the cage, and the next thing you know, it was on. So great match. It was great. Everything was good. You know, yeah, you had Corporate Kane showing up. Authority shenanigans, like Anthony likes to say. They were trying to rule the roost, trying to interfere in the fight, and then now it looks like we're gonna have an epic finish with Dean Ambrose curve stopping Seth Rollins. You hear some murmuring, you hear some weird stuff. Then you see the lantern and the plume of white smoke and a shadowy figure, a 3D image, a hologram. Yeah, I guess the sci-fi department went through Lucas Arts Studios and the basically trying to channel its Obi-Wan Kenobi uh, pose. He had his hands like this, all freaky and crap. Sister Ab laying out. Dean Ambrose. Rollins gets the 1-2-3. He gets the victory. Could be our feud of the year because this has the makings of being a 5-star feud. But with that said, I gotta give it between 4 to 4.5 stars. That's my rating. Anthony, it's yours.
Uh, I gotta lean towards Michael Bullock's rating on this one because of the clunky finish there. Um, 3.5 to 4 stars is the rating for this match for me. Um, you know, it was a very good match, yes, and it was the second best fight of the night, yes. But I mean, we've seen this before. I mean, we saw this at Money in the Bank for God's sakes. I mean, remember Money in the Bank? That Money in the Bank ladder match that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were in for the briefcase. That match, same thing, on its way to becoming a 5-star classic. And what happened? Authority shenanigans ruined the match. This match, darn near same thing. Damn near 5-star classic. And then what else is, well, you can't really call authority shenanigans here because Bray Wyatt technically is not a member of the authority. So you really can't call authority shenanigans on here, even though some of us being conspiracy theorists that most of us are, especially myself, we would call it authority shenanigans. But yeah, there was only one bit of an authority shenanigan, with Kane, with the fire extinguisher, but that wasn't the difference maker. Bray Wyatt was the difference maker, and we haven't seen him in a while. All we've been seeing of him are these vignettes that they've been hyping for the last month or so. But there he was. He was back, and apparently we're on our way to a Dean Ambrose Bray Wyatt feud. That could be pretty cool. We'll have to wait and see on that. And it frees up Seth Rollins to maybe possibly start a rivalry now with Randy Orton, but the seeds are slowly but surely starting to get planted for an Orton Rollins feud. So we'll have to wait and see how. Like I said, let's wait till tomorrow night on Raw. Let's see how Raw plays out tomorrow night, and then we'll start putting those pieces together. So it was a great match, yes, but to me, I hate to say it, it was somewhat disappointing, if I'm being honest with you. Um, but nonetheless, the action was great. I mean, it was another crazy match with these two. I'm glad they got the main event spot. They deserved to get the main event spot. And Flecha, I don't know if you noticed. I don't know if you saw the preview video that Bullock and I did last night, but they ran a poll on WWE.com saying that almost 70% of the fans wanted, were the most excited about Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose inside Hell in a Cell, and rightly so, because everybody's sick of Cena and Orton. Everybody knows that, but tonight, they stuck it to the IWC once again because John Cena and Randy Orton stole the show here tonight. I mean, everybody thought that these two guys were going to steal the show and have a 5-star match, but not quite. I mean, if it wasn't for that Bray Wyatt finish there, maybe. But to me, it really didn't have the feel of a 5-star match. It did, however, have the feel of a 3.5 to 4-star match, and that's why I'm going to go with Michael Bullock's rating in this case. Give it 3.5 to 4. I mean, the match was very good, but to me, it was not as awesome as I was hoping it would be. I mean, I was expecting a damn near 5-star classic and at least a 25 to 30-minute match, but this match, technically, if you go by when the bell rang, got almost 15 minutes. That's it. So, and that's kind of disappointing to me. Whereas Cena and Orton, they got 26 minutes, damn near. So, read into that what you will. But other than that, what's next? I'm thinking, you know, I read an editorial. You know, I mentioned that editorial earlier, um, and I posted it on Facebook. I mean, I know Bullock saw it. I don't know if you saw it, Flex. That little thing I posted the other day on my Facebook about the editorial about how WWE should book next month's Survivor Series. Go back to the old school since Lesnar's not going to be on the show, obviously. Have every match as a traditional Survivor Series elimination match. And the scenario that this gentleman came up with in the editorial, a 4-on-4 Survivor Series main event with John Cena, Dean Ambrose, Mark Henry, and The Big Show going up against Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Kane, and Rusev for a 4-on-4 match. I really don't see that happening, but you never know. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, let's wait till tomorrow night on Raw, and let's see how the chips fall. And then when we do the forum tomorrow night with Derek Ferreira, then we'll have a better idea. Then we'll have a better idea. How they're going to book Survivor Series going forward. But for me, since they're obviously not going to have Lesnar on the show, hopefully they do go back to the old school, and I'll get more into that in our overall review in just a moment. So 3.5 to 4 stars. Great match, yes. Second best fight of the night, yes. But to me, disappointing. Overall review time, Flex. Let's go.
And this is alright, guys. It is time for the overall review, and I'm gonna lead it off. And I gotta say, this was a very good pay-per-view tonight. There's no doubt about it. This was a solid show. It definitely had its moments where I think we all can agree that we were kind of hoping for something better. We didn't get the ultimate payoff, but for a lot of the fights tonight, they were solid. There wasn't really no dud fights. Yeah, there was one that was worst fight of the night and whatnot, but there was really no duds that really came out of this. So for that and that alone, I gotta give it a solid 8 stars. I mean, I think this was a very good pay-per-view. I think this was a great show. Orton and Cena, the two Hell in a Cell fights lived up to the hype. Without a doubt, I think they did a great job with the Hell in a Cell. The title fights, I think the 2 out of 3 falls were really good. It was a great pace setter. The tag team title fight, really good as well. US fight, I mean, yes, we were happy Sheamus won it, and I think we all enjoyed it for a little bit, not great. I think we definitely had something that was left to be desired about the Diva fight. I think AJ Lee and Paige, we expected a lot more and something better from that. And for us, I think we can say the best Diva fight of the night, believe it or not, was the Bella Twins. They actually, they were not dead weights tonight. They actually showed up, lived up to their hype, and actually pulled off a tremendous match, to say the very least. And for me, we'll wait and see what happens. 8 stars out of 10 is my official rating for the pay-per-view. Anthony, it's yours. What's your rating?
Right there with you. 8 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10. I feel that is the correct rating for the match. For the event. Yes, this was, a very good pay-per-view tonight. Definitely one of the best pay-per-views of the year. Definitely in my top 5 for right now. I mean, of course, WrestleMania 30 is still the king as of right now. I mean, no big surprise because we all know the epicness of that night. The only event that, and still to this day, the only event to ever garner a perfect 10 rating here on the Wrestling Forum. But anyways, it was close, but some things needed to go a certain way. A couple of the matches were kind of meh, but the Hell in a Cell matches delivered. The only difference is we all thought it was going to be Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. No, we were wrong. It was John Cena and Randy Orton. Go figure. Those two ended up stealing the show and not Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. A little disappointing, but still, I mean, it was great. That's all I can say on that. So from bottom to top, worst fight of the night. I hate to say it, by default, has to be AJ Lee and Paige for the Divas Championship. Big Show and Rusev, probably the second worst fight of the night. Third worst fight of the night would have to be probably Sheamus and The Miz. That's my feel on that. And then those are the 3 worst fights. And then rounding out the top half of the worst section, I probably would have to I probably would have to maybe go with the Bella fight, if I'm being honest. That was right around the fifth best fight of the night, but it was the sleeper fight of the night, though, and a pleasant surprise. Um, fourth best fight of the night, I'd have to probably say was the tag team title fight. Third best fight of the night, definitely Ziggler and Cesaro. Second best fight of the night, Rollins and Ambrose, and then of course fight of the night, John Cena and Randy Orton. Very good pay-per-view tonight. I mean, but you're absolutely right. I mean, no true dud matches. Thankfully, they did all that silliness during the pre-show, which I didn't give two craps about. Obviously with football and obviously with some other things, but still, I mean, great pay-per-view. What happens next month at Survivor Series? Now, this is what I want to get into, real quick. Um, you know, Brock. Obviously, they don't have any plans for Brock Lesnar to defend the title at Survivor Series, and rightly so, because of his part-time schedule and everything else. And the rumor is that he's not due back until, the night of Mr. Bullock's birthday, December 8th, the Slammy Awards, where he's going to obviously accept the Superstar of the Year award, and rightly so, considering what he did, beating Taker at Mania, ending the streak, and then winning the title from Cena in the most dominant fashion ever at SummerSlam. Obviously, they're going to put, they're going to give him that, and then they'll probably start planting the seeds for Cena and Lesnar, which I think will most likely go down at the Royal Rumble. Now, where does this lead into? Well, if you're not going to have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship defended at Survivor Series, only one simple solution. I know it may seem far-fetched. I know I'm reaching on this, but like that editorial that I posted on my Facebook said, book next month's Survivor Series old school style. Every match, a traditional Survivor Series elimination match. I know it may be tough to figure out the pairings and whatnot, but I got faith. That's all I can say about it. Make every match a traditional Survivor Series elimination match. From the Divas, to the mid-cards, to the tag teams, the main events. Find a way to make every match a traditional Survivor Series elimination match and give us old school, diehard wrestling fans a reason to get excited about the Survivor Series. I mean, we had two traditional matches last year. One with the men and one with the Divas. I mean, the Diva fight was a mess, but the men's fight was really good. That's all I can say about that. It was practically the fight of the night. I mean, damn near fight of the night. So, book next month's Survivor Series as an old school Survivor Series. Like they did the first 4 or 5 events and have every match a traditional Survivor Series elimination match. No championships, no nothing. That's basically how I want to see it. How they're going to do it, I don't know. Hopefully, we'll get an idea tomorrow night on Raw. So that's just how I feel about it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. If you want to chime in on that, feel free. So that's all I can say. Or we could get into it behind the scenes. I don't know. So, but as far as this event, Hell in a Cell 2014 from Dallas goes, 8 out of 10. Well done. Top 5 show to say the very least. Cena Orton stole the show. Rollins Ambrose, good but disappointing. And then Ziggler and Cesaro rounds out your top 3. And the Bellas, baby girls, well done. Very good match, and I can't believe your match was actually better than AJ and Paige. Go figure. 8 out of 10, great show, top 5. Bullock, how you going to follow that?
Yeah, I'm going to say a solid 8 out of 10 as well. I mean, I thought this was a very good show. I mean, Cena and Orton stole the show. I mean, what else is new when it comes to that? I mean, we all thought Rollins and Ambrose were going to steal it, but that clunky finish pretty much killed it there. And but yeah, those were the top 2 fights of the night. And the surprise fight of the night was, of course, the matchup between Brie and Nikki Bella. I mean, go figure. Who'd have thought that match would be better than the Divas title match itself? And of course, Big Show and Rusev was all right. You could say the same for the Miz and Sheamus. And also, of course, the tag team title match. I thought it was good, and of course that 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship. So, so what's gonna happen next? all I can say is let the fallout from Hell in a Cell begin tomorrow night on Raw, and as the road to the Survivor Series begins. And of course, as you guys know, and Anthony, I know you're going to back me up on this. Survivor Series is one of my favorite pay-per-view events of the year. I mean WrestleMania. I mean, it's my top favorite, but I think right next to it is the Survivor Series of course the traditional Survivor Series elimination matches, and of course for a little promotion, of course you can get every single Survivor Series on the WWE Network for just $9.99. So if you want to brush up on your history of traditional Survivor Series matches, and if you want to see it, definitely check it out. So yeah, so 8 out of 10 for me. So with that being said, Flecha, let's just wrap this recap up.
And we're going to wrap it up right now, and we would like to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this video. I'm sorry that it kind of took a little longer than usual. We were just trying to make sure that we can get all the kinks out, all the bugs out before the show started. It looks like we did for the most part, and we held on through a good part of the night. But I will give you guys the programming note tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern, immediately following Monday Night Raw. It is the Wrestling Forum, hosted by Derek Ferreira. He will be back with us again. This will be the last time you'll get to see him until actually till almost close to the go home show of the Survivor Series, guys, is when you'll get to see him next after that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna recap Monday Night Raw. We got a lot more to do. We'll get through the fallout of tonight's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and then we'll be definitely on the road to St. Louis, Missouri, and the Survivor Series. The fourth major event of the year is going down soon, and of course, myself, Anthony Florio, and Michael Bullock will be with you guys, and that starts once again at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 Central, wherever you guys are around the world, as it will definitely be a show for the ages. So with that said, for tonight and this show, we bid you a good night. We will see you guys tomorrow for the Wrestling Forum. For Anthony Florio, for Mike Bullock, I'm Mike Flecha. So long, everybody. Have a good night. You've been watching a special edition of the Wrestling Forum. It's the recap of Hell in a Cell exclusively on YouTube.com. So long for now.